hope you're having an awesome day so far. I'm Maddie. Today I'm going to be experimenting with a soap recipe. I'm going to be adding some avocado butter to my normal recipe. I'm adding it at about 4%, and I'm just going to see how that works. I'm trying a new technique for my colors also. I'm going to try to swirl my colors in the middle with two different colors on the outside, and then swirl them together in the middle of it, in the middle of the bar, and we'll see how that goes. Hope you enjoy. I also wanted to preface my video with saying that this isn't a tutorial or a how-to video per se, in case you want to make soap but haven't done that yet. Cold process soap can be really dangerous. I'm working with dangerous stuff with lye, can really hurt you. I will link in the description box, however, a couple of links to Soap Queen TV and Brambleberry, which are really good starter places. They helped me when I started, and I'm still really new, so they still help me out, and they still help experts out. So if you want to get into soap making and you want to try this out for yourself, that's the best place to start, and I'll link some of her beginner level stuff, safety videos online, coloring, and things like that down in the description box. Measured out and melted all my oils in my lye water, and they're under 100 degrees. I think my lye is, these are my oils, they're at 85 and my lye is at 94, so they're just over 10 degrees of each other, which is kind of what I like to be at, is within 10 degrees or so. And I'm going to put my stick blender in first, into the oils first, and get rid of all the air bubbles as much as I can. You don't want to blend in air bubbles into your soap. And you need to be a little careful pouring the lye into the oils as well, because you don't want to form any more air bubbles, because then you can't get rid of them at all. Alright, I'm going to keep this. So it's starting to get a little bit thick. Alright, I can still kind of see. It's just a little bit of soap batter, so it gets thick pretty fast. This recipe that I use only makes half a pound. So I'm just trying some new things out. My new oil that I added a butter actually, it was shea butter. I think I did it at like 10%, 8% of my recipe. And I'm just going to see how it goes, how it feels. I've had several experiment soaps in the house the last couple weeks that my sweetness and I have been using, and I make multiple bars, and I've given them to some friends and family for them to try out and tell me what they think of them, and now I'm making another recipe. So I'm going to add my fragrance oil. I'm adding Machanis apple for that, and I'm going to use 0.35 ounces, between 0.3 and 0.4 ounces of fragrance oil. I'm using the fragrance oil at 5%. That's what I usually use it at, normally put my fragrance oil in at. So it's 0.3. So my exact measurement at 5% of this oil, of this batter, was 0.38, but my scale only measures in increments of 0.05, so it doesn't go to 0.38, it does 0.3, 0.35, and then 0.4. Alright, and I'm just mixing my fragrance in by hand. I'm going to use half of the batter this color. I'm not going to add any kind of titanium dioxide or anything because I want to see what the base is going to look like, what my base batter will look like when it's done. And then the other half I'm going to be dyeing red because it's an apple color. It's an apple fragrance, and apples, some are red. Alright, and I'm just mixing it in. I know that the fragrance might contribute to some kind of color, so if I was a good scientist, I wouldn't have added any fragrance since I want to see what color this is going to be, because sometimes your fragrance can discolor a lot, but I have an idea already of what my base is going to look like, what color it's going to be. I'm going to separate my soap batter. This is a container that I had my shea butter in, my avocado butter. I'm using avocado butter for this. I'm gonna try to do half. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I probably should weigh it, but just kind of eyeballing it. If you do make soap and cut it in half, if you eyeball it, you should probably use the same container for both parts of the batter because it just makes it a little bit easier. But this looks, I just kind of eyeball it, and it's okay if it's not exact right now because this is just an experiment soap. I just want to see how it feels. Alright. So I'm going to put the color into this smaller container. And I'm using Firecracker Red from Nurture Soap. I've diluted it or mixed it in with a bit of olive oil, which is part of my recipe. So I'm not adding any new oils. I just use the oil, one of the oils that I'm using in my recipe. I've seen some people will have their mica measured out, and instead of putting any kind of oil in it, they'll pick up some of the soap batter and mix it in with the soap batter, which I want to try out. Seems like it would be good, and then you don't waste that little bit of oil extra, which isn't a huge deal, but if you start making really, really big batches, it can turn into a big deal. Alright. So both of these are going to smell like the apple. They're just going to be different colors. Alright. They're both still pretty fluid. I'm not going to use my stick blender again, partly because the amounts in here are just so small that it won't really do anything if I use the stick blender. Yeah, it's still really thin, which I kind of want it to be a little bit thinner for the design that I'm trying to do, that I have in my head. But I'm not sure how thick or thin I want it exactly. And this is actually a little pinker than I would have liked, but that's okay. This is the color that it kind of turned into. It's a little bit pink. I only used 1/4 of a teaspoon because the usage rate of most micas is 1 teaspoon per pound of oils, and I used about 1/2 pound. And then I'm only dyeing half of the batter, so I'm dyeing about 1/4 of a pound. Could have made a little bit more mica, distilled a little bit more mica, and then I could have had the option of making it more red. But that's okay. It's not a big deal if it's not the best color. I'm not doing anything with this bar of soap, so just staying at home with this. Alright, I wouldn't mind for this to be just a little bit thicker. I'm thinking about getting a whisk. If you use a stainless steel whisk, then you can mix by hand. It's especially useful for smaller quantities like this, and it'll increase your trace. It'll make your soap trace faster, so it'll decrease the time it takes for your soap batter to trace. And then honestly, leaving it alone, like I'm kind of doing for this white one, will make it trace a little bit faster. I can tell that this white batter is a little bit thicker than my red batter. Alright, so I'm going to use this whisk. This is just a whisk that I use for soap specifically. Stainless steel doesn't absorb fragrance or soap or anything, so... But you still shouldn't use this for soap and then use it to make cake right after this. I used at one point when I first started making soap, I did use a plastic measuring spoon to measure out my fragrance oil for something, and then I washed it off, and then the next day or a couple days later I made brownies or something, and I used that same measuring spoon to measure my oils or a bit of flour or something. Because I used to make stuff from scratch. I used to bake from scratch. And I used that measuring spoon to measure something out. And after my brownies or cookies were done, my brother told me that they tasted like mango. And I was like, well, that's weird. Suspiciously, that's the fragrance that I made my soap the other day. So it's really easy to transfer, stuff that isn't safe for consumption. It's surprisingly easy to transfer that into food stuff, so if you do happen to use stuff around your house, which it has been what I do, it's okay to use something for baking one day and then soap the next day, but now you need to use that for soap. Now that's your soap thing. Alright, so the design that I want to get is I want to pour the white and the red on opposite sides of the mold so that this half is white and this half is red. And then I kind of want to swirl the middle a little bit with a toothpick or the edge of one of these mini utensils that I have, mini soaping utensils. So I'm going to do half white and half red down the middle, and then swirl it in the middle. I've done something similar where I did this way, was one color and then another color, and I swirled it, but I cut my bars in half, and this way, so whoever got one half only got one half of the color. And when I make a bigger batch of this, make a whole loaf of soap with that design, which I would like to do, then I'll have to do it down the middle long ways for the same reason, because otherwise only a couple of the bars will be multicolored, and then the rest will be all one color. So that's why I want my batter to be about the same thickness between the two of these. Alright, so not exactly what I was going for, but not exactly what I had in my head. But it still looks pretty good. The white and the red are still mixed in pretty good. I think I like this one better, but I'm not sure. It still looks good, I still like it. I will definitely be trying to improve in later trials. So that was my soap. That's probably going to be as close as I can get to what I want, but that's okay. I'll probably try to make it in a bigger batch next time to see if that helps get what I want. So in the description box today, I'm going to leave links to my social media as well as my recipe, and I'm also going to be leaving some links to Soap Queen. I hope you have an awesome day!